Welcome to News Channel 7. Tonight we have an interesting program including a report on rationing, an interview with Dr. Seuss, a sneak preview of Walt Disney's latest commercial, and an interview with a common citizen about propaganda. Firstly, our report on rationing. As you know, the government has recently issued a rationing system. This has been a highly effective method of saving goods such as gasoline, processed foods, meats, fats, oils, and more for military use. Some changes have been made to the amounts given to people relating to where they live. The original system was on an equal for all basis, but this created issues due to people needing more of one good or another. Now farmers and other more rural citizens will get less food and more gasoline because they have a surplus of food and more distance to travel. On the other hand, urban people will receive more points for food and less for gasoline. In addition, locally, both Whitney and Main Street have been closed to save fuel. Be careful when driving because most speed limits have been reduced for the same reason. Thank you for tuning in. Following me is an interview with the iconic Dr. Seuss.
Good morning, America. Today I have special guest Dr. Seuss to talk about the war. Dr. Seuss?
It's good to be here.
Good to have you here. So, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
So, what is your view on the war? Do you think the United States should get involved?
I don't think America should continue to be isolated. The U.S. needs to get involved.
How do you think we should get involved? Should we send in support or go straight to fighting?
I think we should send forces in to fight, as well as help supply troops.
Interesting. Now, I understand you draw cartoons about the war. Can you tell us more about those?
Yes, I draw cartoons to inform people about the war, and to try to convince people to join the war as well.
What are some of your major themes in your illustrations?
I tend to focus on Adolf Hitler's power and Hirohito's reign.
And how do you feel about these individuals?
I feel that Hitler is the leader of the 3 expanding countries. Also, if people simply fought back, we would realize that these countries are not as strong as they appear. Appeasement has to end.
Wow, you seem pretty confident in your opinion. How are you sure of Hitler's limitations?
Hitler has not been faced with enough resistance to determine if he controls an army as powerful as it appears. His army struggled in both Britain and the USSR.
What are some of your more localized thoughts?
I feel that African Americans struggle too much to get jobs. There are so many job opportunities today, but very few can get them.
It is quite difficult for them to get jobs these days.
Yes, and our country needs as many workers as possible.
Our studio has some of your cartoons on file. Shall we take a look?
We shall. Here it says, "Ho-hum, when he's finished pecking down the last tree, he'll quite likely be tired." I drew this on May 22nd, 1941, and it shows my opinion on appeasement. Here on December 25th, 1942, I said, "With the whole world to rebuild, as soon as this blows over, we gotta patch up that fence." I am extremely against isolationism, so I show my thoughts through this drawing. And lastly, on June 26, 1942, it says, "The old runaround. Demonstrated here are the war industries, and the Negro job hunters enter here." I am against the difficulty of the African Americans having to find jobs.
Wow, Dr. Seuss, those are just brilliant.
Thank you very much.
Well, we're all out of time for today. Tune in next week for my interview with Walt Disney. Have a good day.
Today we are here to talk about our some daily products used with lots of cocoa. And a new product that has just been invented to conserve cocoa for the soldiers fighting in Europe and Asia. As you can see, these products contain a lot of cocoa. And to save on chocolate, a new product called Nutella, using less cocoa and more hazelnut product, has been developed to save on cocoa. That's been a top story. Thanks for watching.
back from that interesting commercial about war bonds, make sure you keep supporting the war. I'm here to talk about normal citizens on their view in the war. Let's see if I can find someone to talk to about propaganda. Excuse me, miss.
Yep,
Would you mind answering some questions for me?
sure.
How was your day so far?
It's been pretty good.
Now, how has your life been affected by the war?
Well, my brother was drafted to the Navy a couple months ago. I had to take his place at the mill, but production's been pretty good.
Oh, that's sad, but good to see you taking your brother's place. Have you invested in the cause?
I have. I bought almost 100 war bonds so far, so supporting the war. And I volunteer during my free time at the local Victory Garden. The soldiers need a lot of food, so.
Oh, that's good. That's nice. So, how do you learn about what's going on in Europe?
Well, my family doesn't own a radio since we had to sell it, but I go to the movies a lot, and I read the magazines. The cartoons really put the war into perspective, and without them I would really be lost.
Yeah, a lot of people say that. So, keep supporting the war effort.
Well, I will. I'm actually going right now to go to the Victory Garden, so
Well, thank you for your time.
no problem. Thank you.
And that's that on propaganda.
Recently, the flaws in the rationing system have caught the attention of American leaders worldwide. City dwellers have been given too much gasoline and too little food. People living in rural areas were given too much food and too little gasoline. This increased the number of people selling their points on the black market. This is incredibly illegal, and American leaders decided they had to change the system. I am here to ask several citizens about how they feel about the changes in the system. Excuse me, ma'am, may I ask you a few questions?
Sure.
How's your day been going?
Very well, thank you.
That's good. How do you feel about the changes in the rationing system?
These changes came as an extreme relief. Because I live in New York City, I don't have a car, so I have no need for gasoline. With everyone getting equal amounts of points, I had extra gasoline points, and my family often went hungry.
So now you are given more food and less gasoline points?
Yes, thankfully now my family always has enough food.
And how do you feel about the rationing system as a whole?
I think it is a great idea because our troops in Europe and Asia need as many supplies as they can get.
I couldn't agree more. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Have a nice day.